All right, shalom. We the Hebrew Israelites come out here week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of America and to let the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know that they the Israelites spoken of in the Bible. And that Esau, that the so-called white man is known as Esau or Edom in the Bible. And that this is his kingdom, and his kingdom is about to be destroyed pretty soon here in the Third World War, nuclear. We want to give all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, double honors to the elders at GMS, and bless the elect and the brothers out there teaching truth and sincerity.
Matthew 6 and 19. Matthew 6 and 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt.
Yeah, lay not up treasures upon earth, meaning don't dwell too much on what's in front of you or what's in your eyes, man. You got, because especially in these times, you got to be thinking spiritual. Yeah, it's nice to have nice clothes, nice shoes, nice cars, a nice house and everything, but you mainly, on the side of that, you mainly want to be dwelling on what's after this. What's after this life? All of the things that you get in this life, how is that helping you benefit towards the Most High? All right.
And where thieves break through and steal.
Yeah, and where thieves break through and steal, because the things that you have on this earth, somebody can easily take that. Go ahead.
But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven.
Yep, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, because that's what you should be mainly focused on. No matter how much fun you having, how much fun you want to have, you need to lay your treasures up in heaven.
Where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt.
Yeah, because that's spiritual. When neither moth or rust do it corrupt, because the things that you get from the Most High, the spiritual things, the spiritual gifts, as far as faith, as far as grace, being able to understand the Bible, can't nobody take that from you. But if you buy a car, clothes, or shoes or anything, somebody can go ahead and take that from you.
And where thieves do not break through nor steal.
Yep, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. There ain't gonna be no thieves in the kingdom of heaven, man. That's what we supposed to be dwelling on, those things that's eternal.
Verse 21, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
Yeah, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. What is a treasure? It's something that's delicate to you. It's something that you possess, you guard, you protect. You make sure don't nobody take it. So if you dwell your minds on the things on this world or of this world in this life, opposed to in the life to come, the things on heaven, the spiritual things, then that's where your mind is. You too focused on carnality. Therefore, you can't think spiritual. So this is all you see, and this is all you love right here. Because you can't sit here and say that you love the Most High and you wait for Him to come, but you dwelling too much on being carnal, man.
I don't understand it. You know, just like our forefather David, he said, "Let their table be a snare, and their way be a stumbling block." Right? That's just the stumbling block. Focus of this world, right? Because you're not gonna get the truth. You're not gonna think spiritual.
Yeah, because us being here in America is not to prosper. It's not to have a good life. It's to serve punishment, man, from not serving the Most High. Because you read in Deuteronomy 28, that's what He said. If you don't follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, this is what's going to happen to you. And slavery was part of those curses. So this is our punishment. We're not supposed to be having no good jolly time over here. And that's why the scriptures also say you can't eat from the table of the Lord and the table of devils, man. You gotta pick, because that's been lukewarm. If you try to sit in the middle, you're trying to say that you love the Lord, but you sneaking and doing all kinds of wickedness. The Lord see you. Man might not see you, but the Lord see you. And He said, if you love me, keep my commandments. So at the end of the day, if you really love the Lord, you do what He said do. We're not saying you're supposed to be just locked up in a house and you can't go out to eat with your woman. You can't go enjoy a football game or nothing like that. But you still got to keep your mind on these scriptures. Keep your mind on the kingdom of heaven that's coming. Or else you'll be right lost with the world.
2 Corinthians 4:18. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen.
Yeah, while we look not at the things which are seen, you know, different things you can buy in this world, but the things that are not seen, which is the second coming, the kingdom of heaven, and especially the so-called white man being brought out of power. The so-called white man being brought out of power, which is pretty much America being destroyed in itself. A lot of people can't grasp that. Why? Because they content over here in America. They got their good life, they got their nice cars, house, rims, clothes, shoes, whatever. So they don't want this place to go. They feel like they got one life to live and they might as well live it up. That's how our people feel. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So they dwell on this world and how to look in front of people of this world opposed to what the Lord said. Oh, you want to get it now? Luke chapter 16 verse 10. He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. Yeah, he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. Because faith is a real important thing. And faith is seeing something that you can't see really. Like we have faith that the Lord is going to destroy this place. We have faith that the truth of this Bible is the exact truth of this Bible, man. But a lot of people can't see what we see because they don't have faith. This is all what they see. This is all that they care about, man. Looking good for their neighbor, opposed to looking good in the eyes of the Lord. You got to be able to sacrifice your image, sacrifice whoever you thought you was if you really want to serve the Lord, period, point blank. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be about what you did for the Lord. Because he said he's going to judge your works. So whether you did good or whether you did bad, that's how the Lord is going to judge you. So if you was worried about how good you looked in front of your neighbor or trying to keep your worldly image, you most likely going to get judged bad. The Lord ain't going to show you, he ain't going to show you no mercy. When the famine comes, when martial law comes, the race wars start, you ain't going to have no escape route out of none of that. And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much. Yeah, he that is unjust, wicked in the least is also unjust in much. So if you try to love this world even a little bit, you're going to get tied into loving it a whole lot. Because
it's really talking, if you're unjust in the least, you're unjust in much. It's basically, if you're not balanced, you know, really if you're not fair, you know what I'm saying? If you hustling people over $5, you're going to hustle people with 200. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't handle yourself with a little bit in this life, you can't basically, if you compare it with today's event, which is so-called Omaha Day, it happens every other year, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't know how to act on an average day, you're definitely not going to know how to act today, all right? So if you retarded on an everyday basis, today you're going to be extra retarded, you know what I'm saying? And that's how most of the people are. They're out of their minds. So now that there's an event like this, because they don't, Omaha's, what you call that, a reserve city or something like that, to the point they don't have football teams and all that, and they don't do all that big time stuff. But they do have this every other year. You know what I'm saying? But I was saying, like, you know, if niggas don't know how to act, all right? So when you put something on them like this, you know, they don't know how to act on a regular day, which is least. So when you get a big day like this, it's not even that big, they definitely don't know how to act. You know what I'm saying? They definitely are wilding out. They definitely have no regard for things. You know what I'm saying?
To back that up, because when big events come about, what do everybody do? They go buy a brand new outfit, make sure their car is clean, and they go all out for it, man. Did that answer that?
Yeah, no, they got more. If therefore ye have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will commit to your trust the true riches?
Yeah, if you ain't been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will commit? Because what's the true riches? The understanding of the scriptures. So like he was saying, if you can't handle a little, you won't be able to handle a lot. If you ain't got that balance. And even when you get into the scriptures, you got to have that balance. That's part of the Lord showing you grace. You know what I'm saying? Because he sees that you want to be balanced. Because you can't just have somebody, some wicked person or unjust person teaching the truth, because they're not going to be balanced about certain situations, man. They're going to have respect of persons, which you can't have. Having respect of persons throw off judgment. That's why a lot of niggas sell out. Like it says, a wise man won't accept the gift, man, because it'll throw off his judgment. Cause that's how a lot of people like to do, right? Well, that's why you got a lot of, like I said, you got a lot of people selling out, because they see that gift, that money, the things that they can get, which is in this world, but they not thinking spiritual, man. Therefore, they mind, their treasures ain't laid up in heaven. She will record.
Verse 12. And if ye have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own?
Yeah. If you ain't been faithful to another man, who should give you that which is your own? So if you can't treat somebody else right, how you supposed to? You can't treat yourself right.
It said that which is of another man's.
Oh, that which is of another man's?
Yeah. And which is a good point. Because it says, and if ye have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own? Basically, which is another man is this place here. This is not our place. This is not our cars. It's not our houses. It's not our territory. So how you gonna be faithful over your own stuff? So how you think you're gonna receive salvation when you can't even control somebody else's stuff? You can't even handle somebody else's things. You know what I'm saying? So definitely you're not gonna be able to handle your own. You know what I'm saying? Because you acting a fool with somebody else's stuff. You know? Going on. Just a point I want to clear. No servant can serve two masters.
Yep, no servant can serve two masters. Go ahead.
For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon.
Yeah, and that's the point right there. So you can't try to be of this world and be against this world at the same time. Like you can't sit here and try to serve the Lord and still keep your image that you had before the Lord gave you that calling, because you're gonna get exposed.
Second Corinthians 4:18. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen.
Yeah, and that's that faith, man. So a lot of people don't have faith because they mainly focus on what they can see opposed to what they can't see. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters, what you can't see, because that's having that faith.
For the things which are seen are temporal.
Yeah, for the things which are seen are temporal, because pretty soon all of this ain't gonna matter, man. These buildings is gonna be burned down through the Third World's nuclear war. But even before the missiles come, when a society really starts to break down, a lot of this ain't gonna matter. Your food stamps ain't gonna matter. Your Section 8 ain't gonna matter. Your job ain't gonna matter. Because all of that is gonna tie into one another. They're gonna make you worship they system. And if you don't worship their system, then you're gonna be an outcast, man. And if you're an outcast, you're not part of their system, therefore they're against you.
I mean, it's already like that too, because they'll tell you be yourself, everybody gotta love everybody. But just like they have these gay rights parades, you can't have no anti-gay parade. You know what I'm saying? You can't be, so they want you to be a part of what they do. You're not accepted in society unless you're a part of what they believe in and what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. You can sit here and say that you with everything, but at the end of the day, if you ain't for homosexuality, if you ain't for banning guns, all right, you're a danger to society. Why is that when you're supposed to be allowed to be yourself in the land of the free? No, they're programming you. Even with the main thing is what religion. God has no color. Christ has no color. God loves everybody. You know, every religion has to preach that. I mean, if they preach that, it's a cool religion. But once you go out to go and speak the truth of what the Bible says about all these other nations, religions, and all that, then you're a problem. Something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? That's only over here in America. Because if you go on the other side, where people wasn't democratized, they know what's up. All right? They have rules and boundaries. All right? That's it to that.
Says, for the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
Yeah, but the things which are not seen are eternal, which is the kingdom of heaven, really. So, like it said in Matthew's, if you land your treasures upon earth opposed to laying your treasures in heaven, this is where your heart at. You don't really love the Lord. You focus more so on how you look on this place, in this lifetime. And if you're focusing on that, that means you're not preparing for the end times, man. So when the society actually do break down, you don't have that foundation. You don't have that stable foundation to endure through the different things to come.
Second Ezra chapter 16 verse 40. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Yeah, and those evils be as pilgrims. Those evils is, of course, the end times, man. This is part of it now, man. If, like he said, if you put out a anti-gay rally, they're going to be against you. But they can have gay rallies, man. And they call it a hate crime. You be locked up and you serve a time and all of that, man. And the evils that come is that the famine, the martial law, and all of that, man. And the chick, which is pretty much next, they out in Wyoming, I believe it was. They in Wyoming giving out the chick, man, and taking the government assistance if you don't get that chick. So they showing you already they major plan, which is going to happen on a large scale when they spread it to all 50 states. Think it's just going to sit in one state in America? Well, that's how the whole giving gays right thing started. With a few countries, and then now it's pretty much all. I mean, not countries, states, and then it spread to the rest of the states, man. As well as the Occupy Wall Street, it started in one state and it spread to the rest of the states, man. So that chick, that's part of them evils. Go ahead.
He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose.
Yeah, and he that selleth as one that fleeth away, and he that buyeth one that will lose. Don't dwell too much on what you have in this place, man. I mean, of course, take care of it. You know, it's part of your possession, but it ain't gonna help you in the end. When cats is hungry out here, it ain't like, man, you know, I got this iPhone, you know, I give you this iPhone for a low, but then what they gonna do with an iPhone, man? There ain't gonna be no cellular service. But I tell you earlier in this chapter that they gonna cut off. You won't be able to speak, hear another man's voice. So that's the cell phones that's gonna be cut off. And they going the quarantine and everything. A martial law cutting off states to other states and inside those states, cutting off cities to other cities. So it ain't gonna be like this where you can ride up and down the street and have parades and all of that. Enjoy an Omaha day, man. And you won't be worried about no damn Omaha day in that day either. you ain't had food on your table in a week, you ain't gonna be worried about when is the Omaha day coming. You're gonna be worried about survival.
He that occupied merchandise as he that had no profit by it.
Yeah, he that occupies merchandise and he that had no profit by it. Because when you get a business, you start your business up, and your business is booming, you're doing good. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to be thinking as if you ain't got nothing. Because that keeps you humble, and that keeps your mind focused on the scriptures, man. Like I always say, if you can't handle 50 cents, what you even think about the jackpot for? The Lord know you can't handle small matters, so why would he give you something on a larger scale?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Sirach chapter 11 verse 19. Whereas he said, I have found rest, and now will eat continually of my goods, and yet he knoweth not what time shall come upon him.
Yeah, exactly. So you might be doing good now, but in an instant you can die. In an instant somebody can take that, man. Go ahead.
And that he must leave those things to others and die.
And that he must leave those things to others to die. So you sitting here, you living in America, trying to prosper in this place, and you know, might be fixing up an old school car, building a house and all of that, but eventually you're gonna die and somebody else is gonna have that. So at the end of the day, it was all in vain because you didn't have no scriptures in you. You weren't showing no reverence to the Lord. You weren't keeping the laws to your best abilities. You was just worried about these temporal things, man.
I mean, really, it's just the mindset you're in. Because there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with having hobbies and things like that. You do something. If you're able to do it, you can do it. But it's where your mind is at. If that's what you're living for, then you messing up, because you say you can't serve two masters. You know what I'm saying? But also say what? Money is a defense. So you have to understand when, so say you're working on the car. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if America goes down tomorrow, you're not trying to put your car in the shed and shit, or hoping America doesn't go down because you need to finish your car, or you know, whatever you're doing. You know, you understand that, you know, you're just doing that to pass time or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You read scriptures, and when you get a little weary of reading, you know what I'm saying? Like it says, over my study, weariness of the flesh, you might, hey, man, let me go work on my little car or something. Or let me go do this or go do that. You know what I'm saying? But don't let that dictate your faith. You know what I'm saying? Your faith's supposed to be based off the scriptures and scriptures only. The rest of the stuff is it's just for fun. You know what I'm saying? Just like a TV, a fucking video game, a DVD player, anything that's out of this world. If you're a DVD, you just big on DVDs. You don't want America to go down until fucking World War Z come out on DVD and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's your mindset. You gotta have the Lord wants people that serve Him first. You know what I'm saying? That He put these things here for you to enjoy. But on the other hand, there's wicked things out here for the wicked. But if you can do it, do it. If it's in the law, you can do it, do it. But don't indulge in that shit, man. You gotta find your balance, find your niche. You gotta know when you're going off. Because things that, just like there's things that you can't do, there's things that you can do, and you'll do it so much you end up going off. You know, like the scriptures say, don't be too greedy upon meats. You can eat food, but eat too much, you're going off. Well, what's called gluttony. You know what I'm saying? So these type of things you gotta find your you gotta get in that lane. Alright? The lane is narrow, man. Alright, you can't go to the left or the right. Don't be righteous over much, and don't break the law, statutes, and commandments. Keep the law, statutes, and commandments to your best abilities. Alright? It's a lane you gotta stay in. That's the whole thing, trying to stay in your lane as much as possible. Alright? We know what our job is to do. Listen, give me one precept real quick. Ecclesiastes, the last chapter, I believe the 14th verse. Alright, real simple. It's real simple. Our main focus. Alright, we have a main focus, man. Now everything else, if you could do it, do it. Shit, you like barbecue chicken? Go get you some barbecue chicken. You know what I'm saying? But if it's to the point it's distracting you from what your goal is, you need to stop it. Alright? Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments.
Fear the Most High. That's the first main thing. All right? Fear the Most High. Have a respect for the Most High, reverence, and fear Him. All right? And what that is, keep the commandments, stay faithful. All right? So that's fear the Most High, and then what? Keep His commandments. All right? That's it.
For this is the whole duty of man.
It's the whole duty of man. So we have to fear the Most High and keep His commandments. It's real simple. 1, 2, knockout. All right? That's it. All right? But at the end of the day, you have to have that balance. Because there's some brothers out there that's doing good. You know, there's certain brothers out there that's not doing as good. But if your mind focused on getting out here, you don't give a fuck if you lose whatever you have or not, then that's what matters at the end of the day. All right? Somebody's driving a Range Rover and you on a scooter, all right? If y'all both like, man, you like, fuck that Range Rover, you like, fuck that scooter. We need to get on the chariot. Doesn't matter. As long as y'all have that mind state. You know what I'm saying? Because that person can say, fuck that Range Rover, and you can have a little bum-ass scooter and be like, man, I don't know. You know, I don't want America to go down because, you know, I love my scooter. You know what I'm saying? So it's at the end of the day, it's your balance and the mindset you're in, you know? Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 11. Then I looked on all the works that my hands had wrought, and on the labor that I had labored to do, and behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, all this stuff is a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? You can build up, you can go to college, get you a big degree, get you a big house. At the end of the day, the Lord is gonna America's gonna be destroyed. All right, so you have to be a pilgrim. It says be a pilgrim. Basically, you have to have the mindset that this stuff ain't gonna be here forever. You know what I'm saying? You got it, whoop-de-doo. You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Not hoard it, not treat it as though it's the last thing on earth. All right? Go ahead. That's it to that?
Yeah.
You read that again?
Ecclesiastes 2 and 11. Then I looked on all the works that my hands had wrought, and on the labor that I had labored to do, and behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit.
Yeah, that's right. Because if you go into that chapter, it also talks about dealing with the world, having your little fun. Because he said you can gather all this knowledge and wisdom up, but he said the good things are created for the good. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but you know, if you know, depends on whatever your lane is. But you know, women were created for men, so ain't nothing wrong with, you know, going looking for the ladies or whatever you do, man. But at the end of the day, you have to be in your mind and say, man, fuck that bitch. I'm about this truth first. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? What it says, he that's faithful over little will be faithful over much. All right? He that's unrighteous over little will be unrighteous over much. That's what it is at the end of the day. You know?
And there was no profit under the sun.
There's no profit under the sun. Only profit there is getting up on that chariot when the Most High comes. I mean, the Son of the Most High comes. That's the only profit there is making it. Whatever you're doing down here is vain, so don't cling on to it like it's your last hope. All right? What's the photo for?
The Omaha Empowerment Network.
The what?
The Omaha Empowerment Network. The people that put on this event.
Oh, okay. You can take it. I don't mind.
Is that okay?
So y'all put up that's cool?
Okay.
Cool. Alright, go ahead. That's it. That's pretty much it. That's all I want. Oh, you got something?
It was just to add on what you were saying as well.
Okay.
Ecclesiastes 2 and 17. Therefore I hated my life, because the work that I wrought under the sun is grievous unto me.
Yep. Hey.
Thanks, gentlemen.
No problem. The work that we wrought is grievous unto him, you know. It's a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? Of course, serving the Lord, that's the best thing you could do. You know, but like I said, the Lord also created these things for you to relax and chill, little yan. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You know, but hey, at the end of the day, you can work a double, you can do all this. At the end of the day, when you die, you're going to leave that to somebody else. We can do all this studying, but when we die, we're going to leave it to somebody else. It's not saying don't study. It's not saying don't live. You know what I'm saying? But you got to find your balance. You know? Get your little rocks off. study. But at the end of the day, you stay and you endure until the end, to receive that everlasting life and salvation. All right, that's what it's about. Enduring to the end, being true to the Most High all the way to the end, keeping the commandments to your best abilities all the way to the end, not selling out all the way to the end. You know what I'm saying? As long as you do that, you can do whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want as long as you keep them commandments and stay faithful all the way into the end. That's good.
All right, let's get a little bit in the air.
Second Ezra 16 and 42. Second Ezra 16:42. He that occupied merchandise as he that had no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain.
Yeah, so like he was just saying, you can get into that stuff, just don't indulge in it, because you will end up being lost into that. You know what I'm saying? So those that labor, they labor in vain, because if you're not laboring, if you laboring something in the world and you're not really into these scriptures, something towards the Most High, then you're doing it all in vain, man. You can do all of that, but at the end of the day, it's about how much work, how much labor you did for the Lord. That's why there's no time limit on the spirit. You know what I'm saying? You can go out every day if you wanted to, man. If it's on your spirit to go out every day, you can go out every day. It's about, but that don't mean just go out because, I'm trying to get brownie points for the Lord. You got to do stuff in sincerity, man. That's part of that balance too. You do it in sincerity, and the Lord will be like, look at his, he riding for me. This is my soldier right now. He riding for me. He been out there every day, and he'll have whatever mercy or grace he want to put upon you. He'll do that for you. But don't just do it to look good, though. That's why a lot of people is how they is in this world, because they doing it to look good for the other people that's of this world, man. You're not gonna get nowhere like that.
Yeah, it's about that sincerity of the situation. Like you said, you can go out there for a whole week, but if you're doing it for brownie points, then that whole week worth of going out, you go out for 10 hours for 5 days straight. If you're doing it to be seen for a carnal reason, then you're going out. That's your reward right there. When people are like, oh, he out there, that's your reward. If you go out there for one day for 5 hours, 4 hours, 10 hours, whatever, and you in sincerity, you going hard in the spirit, you go out there for an hour. There was times I went out there for 45 minutes, but I was sincere. You know what I'm saying? That, and what if the Lord had came tomorrow? I would have made it. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, I endure this truth, but that's just an example. I just got in the truth. I ain't had too many precepts, but I knew what I knew. And when I came out there, I went out for that little 30, 45 minutes. If the Lord had came, America been destroyed that day, I would have been all right. Just as well as a brother going out there for 10 hours and he's sincere in the faith. But if you out there going all talking about the white man can make it, you out there every day of the week, and we in that same timeline, you would have been destroyed. You've been out there 5 days, 10 hours. I've been out there for 45 minutes one day, and I would have made it and you wouldn't have. Because it's all about the sincerity of the situation. What the scriptures say, man. Those that worship the Most High must worship in sincerity and in truth. All right? The Most High ain't dealing with bullshitters. You know what I'm saying? You can bullshit some of us, but you can't bullshit the Most High, period. You know what I'm saying? You can't bullshit the Most High. The Most High knows who you are. I'll snatch it.
Battery?
You gotta go on.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Second Ezra 16 and 46. For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives.
Yeah, so the things that people laboring in, at the end of the day is vain because what? It goes back to Matthew chapter 6. It can be messed with, man. Thieves can break in and take it. So you sit here, if you have a child, you like, well, I know I'm supposed to be serving the Lord, but I want my child to go to college. So you putting all your effort into your child going to college and everything. You're not focused on the Lord. Because at the end of the day, him going to college, he's part of this system. Him getting a job, he's still part of this system. You're supposed to be training up the child, man. So that if that child ain't have no preparation on the times to come, you know what I'm saying, they end up taking a chip because everybody else taking a chip or something, man. They end up following the same program as everybody else. You know, like basketball. My cousin, he hooped, he was real good, he went to college, and then he stopped. Same thing with my little brother. He hooped, he was real good, he went to college, and he stopped. It's just an ongoing thing, man. Of course you have some people that keep going, but it's like the same thing over and over. So the only thing that's worth working for is the Lord. That's the only thing you can work and not do it in vain as long as you're doing it in sincerity and truth. But if you're serving the Lord just to be doing it, then you're not sincere about it. Therefore, you're doing it in vain.
For in captivity and in famine, they shall get children.
Yes,
and they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons. The more will I be angry with them for their sins, saith the Lord.
Yeah, the more will he be angry with their sins, said the Lord, man. So the Lord don't want you indulging in all of that, man. Because he put you on this earth for one reason, and that was to serve him. Now, like I said, you got that balance. You can have your hobbies to bypass time. It's not like when we get done here, we all just go home and read until we go to sleep. And wake up, go to work, read on break, go home, read until we go to sleep. No, man, we go to the movies, we play basketball or something, like sit down, play the game, watch videos or different kind of videos on YouTube or something like that. You gotta have that balance, man, but don't indulge in this world. Because you gotta lay your treasures up in heaven.
Like you said, that balance. The chapter we was reading, Ecclesiastes, it says it's good for a man to enjoy the labor of his hands.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's being over righteous. You can't be over righteous, you can't be over.
Yeah, you can't have no hobby, and the brother's talking about going out on a Saturday. You like, nah, I gotta finish doing this and doing that. The Lord gotta come first, man. That's what it's about. It's about the Lord coming first. Because that's part of that sacrifice, man. But they tell you there's no greater love than for a man to lay his life down for his friends. It don't just mean dying. That means sacrificing, period. Your brother needs some sacrifice, give it to him.
Like as an whore envieth the right, honest, and virtuous woman, so shall righteousness hate iniquity.
Yeah, so shall righteousness hate iniquity. Go ahead.
When she decketh herself, and shall accuse her to her face.
Yeah, when she decketh herself and accuse her. So people, when we see people, our people mainly, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans indulging in this wickedness or indulging in building up, laboring in vain, we like, well, that's the whole point of being out here. To let them know, man, it's a labor out there that you can, you know what I'm saying, actually reap a benefit for in the long run. It's not just something temporal, man, or temporary. It's something you can benefit from in the long run. You should labor in this. But then again, if they don't want to labor in it, it's not up to us. I mean, you know, we can't get mad because it's all according to the Lord's will. So if they don't want to labor for the Lord, hey, that's on them, man. They don't want that shot at salvation then. All we can do is go on about and keep enduring through our temptations, man. Enduring our temptations and Satan trying to mess with us and throw us off and get us back into the world. We got to still fight our own fight.
It says, so shall righteousness hate iniquity when she decketh herself, and shall accuse her to her face.
And it said righteousness hating iniquity, which right there shows you everybody can't come together, man. Because y'all, the whole system of everybody coming together will not work.
When he cometh that shall defend him, that diligently searcheth out every sin upon the earth.
Yeah, which is the Lord, man. He's the one that's going to search out the sins. He's the one that's going to judge you for your works, your good works and your bad works. He's the ultimate judge. We can judge you. You got, like the book of Judges, you had different judges set up when it helped better order things. And when when his father-in-law was like, you can't handle all these people, you need to set up judges, man. So we the Lord judges. So he ain't got to do everything, even though he can do everything. We his way, his little ease, man, his peace. Cause we sit here, we got the angels, you know, you have angels writing things down, so we like, that person's going off, they eating pork. The angels writing that down, bam, they take it up to the Lord. The Lord know that person eat pork. The Lord judge that person how he judge that person. But he's the ultimate judge. We can see somebody out here being wicked, be like, man, by the way you acting, you're not gonna make it. But in the last day, the Lord, in the last days, the real end of it, the Lord can, you know what I'm saying, put a different spirit on them and they can have a chance, they can be saved. He's the ultimate judge. And that's why it says I have compassion on whom I have compassion, and I show grace unto whom I show grace, man. Answer that?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Huh? Israelites, Hebrew Israelites. Huh? No, it's not black Israelites, it's Hebrew Israelites. No. Yeah, it's not just about black people, it's Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But that's the wrong way.
Check it out, right? What I'm understanding is they say that the black Israelites are supposed to be the true Jews of the nation, right?
Yep.
Now, what's the difference between the black Israelites and Moors?
The reason why they say black, you said true Jews. The term Jews comes from the term Judah,
Right.
which is the Negroes today. But amongst the 12 tribes of Israel, you have Latins and you have Native Americans. They all ain't black, are they?
Moors is it was put on us in the Middle Ages. It just mean moreno, which means dark skin or black.
You got a number of cards?
We got a number, you know, if you
402-708.
I'm interested, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking about Jordan, like
708-4620.
4620.
Yep.
But yeah, that Moor shit. Moors, you know what I'm saying? The difference between it, Moors is just like calling somebody black. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. It's not nationality, not belief. It's a byword. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Like African American and nigga and spick. You might Moreno goes more goes back to Moreno. It just means black. That's all that means. You know what I'm saying? So you have to get to the root of words. You have to deal with the root of things. You know what I'm saying? Now the Moors, they do have things in common, but they go off in areas, man. All right? And Lord willing, we're going to get into that, you know?
That's it. I mean, whether he heard it, I don't know where he heard about the black Hebrew Israelites, but it goes to show you, man, y'all sitting there like Johanna, he's sitting there trying to dwell so much on the black people and everything, that's going to throw everything off, man. Because you just going to X out the Latins, and or the niggas that's out there teaching that the Native Americans and the Latins ain't part of the 12 tribes, man.
And that black Hebrew Israelite it takes away the credibility of us being Israelites by saying we're the black Hebrew Israelites, and it makes us not look like the original Hebrew Israelites. Like if you say the white Jews, it'll make it like they're a different sect. There's only one sect of Israelites, so you don't have to say black Hebrew Israelites, white Hebrew Israelites. You either say Israelites or Israelite converts. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. There's nothing complicated about it. It's either Israelites or you're an Israelite convert. It means you're converted to being an Israelite. All right, so you took our laws. We didn't take the laws. The laws was written for us. All right. Really, at the end of the day, there is no Israelite converts like that, because we ain't gonna take no heathen into our congregation. But you can take on our laws. All right. So there is no black Hebrew Israelite, white Hebrew Israelite. There's only Israelites. Just like you can't say a black white person. You know what I'm saying? You can't say no white no white African. You're a white African or you're Chinese African. No, I'm an African, right? So the same thing with Israelites. There's no black Israelites, all right? Go ahead.
2nd Ezra 16:51. And therefore be ye not like thereunto, nor to the works thereof.
Yeah, therefore be ye not like thereunto, nor the works thereof. So indulging in these temporal things, that's not supposed to be our mindset, like Ox said, man. That's not supposed to be what our mind is focused on. It's supposed to be focused on serving the Lord. At the end of the day, serving the Lord. What can you do or have you done that the Lord could be pleased in doing, man? When Satan comes about and he tempts you with things and you pass that test, that pleases the Lord. Because it proves to him that you on his side. It said, like Joshua said, choose you this day, man.
For yet a little iniquity shall be taken away out of the earth, and righteousness shall reign among you.
Yeah, a little iniquity shall be taken out, and righteousness out of the earth, and righteousness shall reign among you. Which goes back to that Isaiah. I believe it was chapter 63 about the clusters of grape, man. When he said he took out that little blessing, and that little blessing is the Lord opening the eyes to the elect of his people and allowing them to realize that they the true Israelites. Because like we were just saying, it's not black Hebrew Israelites, the true Israelites of the scriptures, man. Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and us coming together.
And to be blunt about it, the elect is a blessing to the nation of Israel. That's just plain out period, because the electors was saving us as a nation. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It may be sound like, oh, you niggas think, no, that's what it is. If we're not, Lord willing, we're a part of it. If we're not a part of it or in it, if we fall out, Lord, God forbid, the elect is who's going to save us. The elect is going to get us into the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, through the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, the elect is the blessing. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? What's going on?
Verse 50.
You already handled it. Go ahead. Huh? No, I was just about to say, cause like you were saying that they the first fruits. So if the Lord didn't have that mercy for the elect, and like you said, our whole nation would be destroyed. We would have been destroyed, man. But that's why the Lord, he said he always had men reserved, man. No matter what destruction came, you know what I'm saying? No matter what destruction to the temple or wars that we lost, it always was some men that the Lord saved, man, that he looked out for, man. So him keeping that pattern, and him, like he said, he changed not, him keeping that on this side, it's the elect, man. It's the elect. They the hope of the nation of Israel.
Noah was a blessing to the earth.
Exactly, and his three sons as well.
And his three sons. He was a blessing, because without him, we wouldn't have survived.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The Most High gave that mercy upon him so we all can survive. That's what it is.
To repopulate the earth and for us to have what? Slaves, man.
Yep.
Because if it was just Israelites, who would be our slaves? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's a beautiful point. I think that was the last one.
Verse 2nd Ezra 16:53. Let not the sinner say that he have not sinned, for the Most High shall burn coals of fire upon his head.
That was all.